Sometimes the most powerful no isn't spoken directly. It's delivered through grace, through clarity, through confidence. In a world that often expects you to say yes, here's how to draw the line without burning bridges. Saying no can feel harsh, awkward, even risky, but here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something you don't want, you're saying no to yourself. The good news, you can protect your time, energy, and boundaries without ever using the word no. It's not about rejection, it's about redirection with elegance. Humans are wired to avoid conflict. We want to be liked, approved. So we nod, we agree, even when we mean the opposite. But constantly agreeing leads to resentment, burnout, and emotional fatigue. The Stoics remind us, if it costs your peace, it's too expensive. It's time to learn the silent language of boundaries. To say no without saying no, follow this framework. 1. Acknowledge, show you heard them. 2. Align, show you respect the intent. 3. Redirect, offer an alternative if possible. 4th, stand ground. Say what you can't do with clarity. 5. Keep dignity. Protect the relationship, not just the outcome. Here are real-world phrases that say no without ever using the word. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I have to pass this time. That's not something I can take on right now. Let me check my priorities and get back to you. This sounds valuable, but my current focus won't allow me to give it what it deserves. Can I suggest someone who may be a better fit for this? Each phrase carries kindness, clarity, and confidence. This is where many freeze. But the truth is, even leaders respect boundaries when they're expressed with strength. Try, I want to deliver at my best, and taking this on would risk my current commitments. Can we revisit this once it's complete? How would you like me to prioritize this against my current deadlines? You're not refusing. You're asking for alignment. That builds trust. Guilt is common, but you can't pour from an empty cup. Try this gentle truth. I wish I could help, but I have to take care of something important first. I'd love to support you another way that won't stretch me too thin. Friendship doesn't mean constant availability. It means honest respect. Sometimes you just need space before committing. Delay can be a powerful substitute. Use. Let me sleep on it. I'll get back to you by next day. I need a moment to make sure I can commit fully. This creates room for clarity, and often the other party moves on without pressure. When you're unsure, answer with a question instead of a no. Examples. What's the timeline on this? What outcome are you hoping for? What happens if I'm not involved? Asking redirects responsibility back to the asker without confrontation. Sometimes you don't need words at all. A pause, a moment of stillness, a thoughtful breath. The other person senses your boundary, even when you don't voice it outright. Silence invites reconsideration. One of the most graceful ways to say no is to begin with thanks. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm honored by the offer. I appreciate the opportunity. Gratitude makes the refusal easier to accept and harder to resent. The Stoics teach that we can only control our decisions, not people's reactions. So when you say no, indirectly or not, release the need to be liked. Clarity without cruelty is enough. As Epictetus said, a wise person is indifferent to things beyond their control. Here's the paradox. The people who respect your boundaries the most are the ones worth keeping. People trust those who are clear, consistent, grounded. When you say no the right way, you don't lose respect, you gain it. In high-stakes business, saying no can feel like gambling. But skilled negotiators know, no isn't a dead end, it's a pivot point. Instead of rejecting outright, try. That doesn't work for us in its current form. Here's what we could explore instead. Let's revisit this with more alignment on priorities. You're not closing the door. You're guiding the conversation toward mutual value. Sometimes a partial yes is the best no. Yes, I can help, but only after Friday. Yes, I'm interested, but I'll need more clarity first. This softens resistance while anchoring your conditions. You keep control without confrontation. You don't always have to say no personally. Sometimes you simply redirect the ask to someone more appropriate. I'm not the best person for this, but Alex might be able to support you. Let's loop in the team lead. This is more in their wheelhouse. You're still helpful, but you've protected your bandwidth. When something doesn't feel right, values are your compass. It's a great idea, but it's not aligned with our current direction. Saying no through your values shows clarity, not rejection. It tells others why your number matters. Some people don't respect boundaries. They push, guilt trip, pressure. This is where silence becomes power. Fewer words, calm tone, unwavering stance. Try. I'm not available for that. I've already answered. I don't engage in this kind of conversation. No apology, no justifying, just strength. Sometimes the written word is your safest shield. In an email, you can be composed, strategic, and clear without emotional friction. Try templates like, "Thanks for reaching out. I'm currently focused on prior commitments and won't be able to participate, but I appreciate the opportunity." Written boundaries give you time and space to think and avoid being cornered. Build a personal library of phrases that reflect your tone, your character, and your goals. Write down 5 to 10 go-to responses that feel natural to you. Practice them, refine them, make them second nature. Because when the moment comes, you won't hesitate. You'll respond, not react. Every gracious no earns you one more thing: trust. Trust from others who see you as clear, consistent, and confident. Trust in yourself that you don't need to betray your time to feel worthy. In the end, the most successful people aren't the ones who say yes to everything. They're the ones who know exactly what they're saying yes to because they have mastered the art of no. You don't need to invent excuses. Time is a finite currency. Use the scarcity principle honestly. I'm already committed during that time. I have a tight schedule this week, and I've protected space for high priority tasks. If I say yes, I'll be compromising on something else important. This frames your no as a matter of responsibility, not rejection. People often pitch ideas with enthusiasm, hoping you'll mirror it. You can acknowledge excitement without committing. That sounds exciting. I'm not able to take that on, but I'm cheering you on. You've got a great idea there. Keep me updated on how it goes. You're affirming them, not accepting the responsibility. Every time you say yes, you're writing a check with your time, energy, or attention. Ask yourself, what will this yes cost me? Am I okay with that price? Sometimes the kindest answer to others is the clearest one to yourself. People begin to see you as someone with priorities, someone who delivers on commitments, someone who doesn't overpromise and underdeliver. A graceful no makes your future yes worth more. Scarcity breeds value. When you say yes to everything, people assume your time is endless. But when you set boundaries, you're not just protecting your calendar, you're training others to respect it. Over time, your no creates space for what truly matters. Sometimes the hardest person to say no to is you. No to distractions. No to overcommitting. No to doing things out of guilt or ego. Mastering no isn't just about others. It's also about your own discipline. In moments of pressure, pause. 3 seconds. Breathe. Give yourself space to think, even in real time. That pause, it's where your real no forms, not out of fear, but clarity. Every no is a small act of time travel. You rescue your future self from stress, delay, overwhelm, and regret. In business, in creativity, in health, your best work depends on your best use of time. Say no now. Thank yourself later. Some people won't take your first no. They'll insist. Pressure. Negotiate. Here's how to hold your boundary. Repeat yourself calmly. As I said earlier, I won't be able to. Use the broken record technique. Repeat without changing your tone. Keep your tone friendly but final. Smile if needed. Don't bend unless you truly want to. Respect doesn't mean compliance. It means consistency. Saying no doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you're selective. You're choosing where your energy flows. Who gets your best self? What your future will become. It's not just a boundary, it's a blueprint. Success doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things. Every time you say yes to something unaligned, you're saying no to what actually matters. Your health, family, focus. So say, I'm at capacity right now, and I want to give full attention to my current priorities. I'm protecting space for deep work. This one will have to wait or go to someone else. Sometimes the best no is a simple emotional boundary. You hear the ask, you stay kind, but you don't step in emotionally or energetically. You stay centered, calm, and grounded in your values. That's leadership in silence. Not everything labeled urgent is actually important. Use filters. Does this align with my long-term goals? Will this still matter in a week? Is this my fire to put out? If not, kindly opt out. I trust this will get handled well without my input. Social pressure can be subtle. The fear of disappointing others runs deep. But saying yes to events you dread means betraying yourself. Try. Thanks for the invite. I'm prioritizing rest this weekend. That sounds great, but I'm committing to a quiet night in. Your real friends won't be offended. They'll admire your honesty. Not all no's are formal requests. Some are time-draining conversations you need to leave. Practice exit phrases. I'll let you continue with your day. I need to jump back into something, but I appreciate this. Let's pick this up later. I've got a time commitment. This protects your energy without drama. Your body language can say it before your mouth does. A calm pause, a small head shake, a redirect of your attention, a glance at your watch. Learn to master the micro signals of a boundary. Speak softly and carry presence. You don't always have to decide on the spot. Use time as a boundary. Let me think on this and get back to you. I'll review my schedule and let you know. Give yourself space to reflect. Often the answer will become clear in silence. When you say no, you're not rejecting others. You're honoring yourself. You're saying, my time matters. My energy is valuable. My priorities are non-negotiable. Boundaries aren't walls. They're doors with locks, and you hold the key. These are the most delicate and powerful no's of all. I need some time to myself right now. This isn't something I'm available for emotionally. I care about you, but I have to protect my peace. Love without boundaries becomes burnout. Intimacy without clarity becomes chaos. Maybe sounds polite, but it's the seed of resentment. It delays clarity, creates false hope, wastes energy. Be decisive. Say yes when it's a clear yes. Otherwise, practice a gentle no instead of the lie of maybe. Strong leaders don't say yes to every suggestion. Instead, they say, "This isn't the right time, but I love the thinking." Not this version, but refine it and let's revisit. We're saying no to stay focused on our core mission. Great leadership is about clear direction, not endless accommodation. If you feel guilty when you say no, it's a sign you're evolving. It means you're stepping into boundaries, leaving people-pleasing behind, choosing clarity over comfort. Guilt is temporary. Regret is lasting. Learn to sit in guilt for a moment so you don't sit in resentment for a lifetime. Sometimes you've said yes for years, but now it's time for change. It's okay to grow out of roles, relationships, or responsibilities. Say, "I used to take that on, but I've shifted my focus. That chapter's closed for me, and I'm creating something new." Change doesn't need apology. It needs courage. We live in a yes culture. Teach the next generation that no is part of emotional intelligence. Let your kids see you set boundaries. Encourage your team to decline things that don't align. Celebrate healthy refusal, not just blind compliance. That's how confidence is passed down. Every time you say no, you're not closing just a door, you're opening another, a new opportunity, a better fit, a clearer path. When you stop filling your life with everyone else's requests, you make space for your purpose to breathe. You don't always have to slam the door shut. Sometimes, no for now keeps a relationship intact while still honoring your bandwidth. Say, "This isn't the right time, but I'd be happy to revisit it in the future." Let's put a pin in it and circle back in a few weeks. You keep the door open, but you stay in control of when it opens again. Every yes to something misaligned comes with hidden fees, energy drained, stress accumulated, deadlines missed, sleep lost, resentment building quietly. Start thinking in opportunity cost, because what you don't do might be your greatest contribution. What do you want to be known for? Greatness isn't built on compliance. It's built on clarity. Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things." Your no creates focus, and focus is how legacies are built. You do not owe everyone an explanation. "I'm not available. I'm unable to commit. That won't work for me." That's enough. Explanations often invite negotiation. When you're clear, brevity becomes power. Not every opportunity is the right opportunity. You can decline without burning bridges. "This isn't the right fit for me, but I appreciate the offer. I'm flattered, but I'm pursuing a different direction right now. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm honored, even if I have to pass." Leave the door unlocked, even when you choose not to walk through it. You're not waiting for approval. You don't need consensus to protect your peace. You are not selfish for putting yourself first. You are not cold for choosing silence over sacrifice. You are not cruel for declining things that don't align. You are sovereign. Your no is not a crime. It's a command. Creative work, writing, art, design, leadership requires deep energy. Every yes chips away at your focus. Say no to interruptions. Say no to distractions. Say no to anything that dilutes your vision, because nothing grows in a trampled garden. If you feel cornered, don't answer right away. Use the buffer response. Let me take a day to think about it. Can I get back to you by tomorrow? I'll check my commitments and follow up. This buys you time, and often time brings clarity. Before answering, ask, am I saying yes out of guilt? Out of fear? Out of FOMO? Out of insecurity? If your yes isn't coming from alignment or love, pause. That's not a decision. That's a reaction. Some people rely on your yes to continue bad behavior. The coworker who dumps tasks on you. The friend who only calls when they need something. The family member who guilt trips you into silence. Saying no here isn't rude. It's necessary. You're not breaking the peace. You're ending the pattern. It's easy to go with the crowd. Harder to stand up and say, I'd rather not join this one. That doesn't align with what I need right now. I'm sitting this out. You're not alienating the group. You're anchoring yourself. Introverts often feel pulled into spaces they didn't sign up for. Reclaim your energy. I'm taking the evening to recharge. I'd love to support from a distance this time. This week is a quiet one for me. I need space. Solitude is not a flaw. It's fuel. Some people love you when you say yes. Watch who stays when you say no. Saying no reveals who respects you, who manipulates you, who values the real you. Your no is a spotlight. Let it illuminate what's real. You make promises to others. What about the promises you make to you? I will rest more. I will write my book. I will protect my mornings. Every yes that violates your own promise is a betrayal. Honor your word to yourself. Say no to anything that breaks it. Finally, remember, the strongest no doesn't always sound strong. It sounds peaceful. Calm voice, gentle words, clear tone, zero apology. Because confidence is quiet, and boundaries, when fully owned, don't need defense. You can be kind and still say no. Empathy isn't compliance. Try this. I understand where you're coming from, and I still have to decline. That sounds important. I just can't commit right now. You honor their feelings without abandoning your boundaries. You don't have to flat out reject someone to decline. Use yes and to shift the conversation. Yes, I see this matters to you, and that's why I need to be clear about what I can offer. Yes, that's a great idea, and I'd love to revisit it when I have the bandwidth. It softens the no, but keeps your position firm. Boundaries aren't just what you say, they're what you signal. Set the expectation before a request even arrives. Let people know you're in a focused season. Share your priorities early. Practice proactive communication. That way, when you do say no, it doesn't feel like rejection. It feels like integrity. Before you answer, pause. Not forever. Just for a breath. A beat of silence resets the energy. It shifts you from reacting to responding. And in that pause, you give yourself permission to be intentional. Saying no to strangers is easy. Saying no to loved ones, that's a test. But remember, true connection isn't based on sacrifice. It's based on truth. Say, I love you, and I can't take this on. This matters to me, but I need to say no this time to protect my energy. Love doesn't vanish when you draw a line. It matures. Some situations call for diplomacy. Instead of a blunt, no, try. I wish I could, but I'm already committed elsewhere. I'd really love to, but it would pull me away from what I need to focus on. It's not manipulation, it's humanity. How many times have you said yes, regretted it, then promised yourself never again? But the ask comes again and again. This time, protect your evolution. I've learned from the last time. This time, it's a no. Growth isn't just about learning. It's about remembering what you learn. Some people will push. They'll guilt you, flatter you, corner you. That's when your no matters most. Don't fold. Don't over-explain. Just repeat. I appreciate the ask. My answer's still no. Respect isn't always given first. It's earned through consistency. You can decline and still preserve the relationship. Say no. I'm so glad you reached out, and I hope we find another way to collaborate. This one's not for me, but keep me in the loop for future possibilities. You're not rejecting them. You're simply honoring you. Every yes that comes from guilt becomes resentment, and resentment poisons relationships. Protect your peace. Be clear. Be firm. Be kind. Be honest. Because resentment later is far worse than a respectful no today. You don't have to accept every task, project, or favor at work. Try. That's outside my current scope, but I can help find someone who's a fit. To meet that deadline, I'd need to shift other priorities. Shall we realign? Leadership isn't about saying yes to everything. It's about managing energy, not just time. Imagine your time as your company's budget. Would a CEO give unlimited money to everything just because people asked? Every yes needs a return. If it doesn't serve your mission, cut it. Time is your most valuable equity. Invest it wisely. Guilt is a reaction, not a truth. It's the echo of old patterns. Break it with clarity. This no comes from alignment, not rejection. It's not personal, it's purposeful. You're not doing something wrong. You're doing something right. By choosing what matters most. Saying no gets easier with practice. Start small. Decline that unnecessary call. Skip the meeting that doesn't need you. Turn down a favor that drains you. Repetition builds confidence, and confidence makes no feel natural, not aggressive. Every yes to your values, your peace, your growth is a no to distraction, guilt, and burnout. Your boundaries build a life of clarity, because when you own your no, you reclaim your freedom. In a world pulling you in 1,000 directions, your power lies in a one word that returns you to yourself. Not because you're against others, but because you've finally chosen to be for yourself.